Hi cuties, welcome in. And I'm never sure. Amar, I hope. Can I call you Amar? I'm never sure with your name how you would like to be called. But yeah, maybe I will announce that I love you. Also, I'm very happy because you apparently are sub to my channel. Metzger is as well, which allows me to see the new sub badge I made yesterday. As you can see, if you're subscribed to my channel now, you will show off a cactus to everybody. Because while I can't have a cactus in the game, I guess you guys can at least have a cactus in my chat for following me. And welcome home and welcome in Amar and Gaga and Riza and Emets, or actually I should say Rizara, after that beautiful video where you gotten called Rizara by Overcharged Egg. I will have to keep calling you that to him. Honestly, that was beautiful. And I've been trying around. I'm very curious on your guys' input about. Oh, it was Biffa actually. Okay, my bad. Then I'm confusing. Yeah, my bad, Biffa. But I'm very curious about your input on public transport, guys, because I so far have never used a public transport mod outside of All Abroad. I now added another one, which is a transport policy adjuster, which does allow me to finally do something I was looking for a long time and lower the count of our buses, which before we had quite a lot of long lines and they have quite a high force bus count. So we had too many buses on the road, though the lines were kind of correct. Now this new mod allows us to actually reduce the buses below that minimum limit we usually get for the length. And I'm very excited about it, because suddenly, you can see this bus terminal, I rerouted some buses and started fixing it a little, but yeah, I think our bus terminal looks a lot better. We actually have a lot more going on here as well, and generally better route layout. I also did redo some of the public transport in this horrible shithole, which we're not gonna talk about, and we will have to do the same eventually here. I don't care about these cities yet, I just care about how the traffic interacts with Los Vagos. So I do somehow care about it, and yes, I guess strange time for me to stream. Guys, this does not seem safe. Guys, holy, well, okay, we're gonna ignore that. But yeah, I had a pretty slow day at work today, so I figured, since I feel a bit sick, so I don't want to do anything stressy or exhausting, so I figured with a slow day at work and feeling a bit sickish, not the wrong time to jump on and have an early stream, because yeah, you guys aren't incorrect. It's probably, sorry, my frames are dropping. I'm gonna have to zoom out, look at everything, and then it should get better. But yes, this probably is the earliest stream I have ever had, which not entirely day of work, just short day at work. I mean, is after 5 in the afternoon in Germany now, so I did not have a stressy day at work, so I could stop off a bit earlier. And again, I feel a bit sick, so I figured I'm not doing anything today besides streaming. But welcome in, cuties. Nice to see all of you. We've been spending a lot of time on the best build I ever made. I think most of you have seen this by now. We are pretty much... My frames are horrible today. I'm not sure why, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep zooming in and out a bit at the start. Usually this gets better after a while, but yeah, I just loaded into the game. But we did finish this area of the build pretty much yesterday, and I'm honestly incredibly happy with this. I did one thing yesterday quickly off stream, that I told you guys about, where Jay made me this cute fence I asked him about. And I forgot to add it to my game yesterday, so we could not or add the fence yesterday. But I did that off stream and kinda dirtied our cargo elevator a little. And now this entire part of the build is pretty much set in stone. There is a few other things I adjusted. I made these decals a bit less vibrant. I adjusted this one that we put on yesterday. The saloon decal we put on yesterday, I think, as well. And I just turned down the vibration and the contrast quite a lot, so it's gotten a lot better. Who are you gonna message? I don't think Suli's pack, any of Suli's pack is on the new importers, if that is what you're asking about. So I don't think Suli is gonna be impacted by any of the coming EA8 changes. And thanks, Metzger, that's very appreciated. I mean, you did play a crucial role. I'm not even sure, is the elevator yours or Jay's creation? I have to be honest that I'm kinda gotten lost in who of you two made what in the end. Okay, the elevator is Jay's, but honestly, all of this turned out super cute. I know you made... I'm not sure you made... I think you made these. Maybe I'm also wrong, but I'm in generally so happy. I'm especially happy because we managed to get in this terrain and everything. And even these small huts up here, I think, turned out pretty goddamn nice by now. So, yeah, very satisfied, because in general, I think this entire mine, quarry / abandoned gold rush town, this has to be the best build I've ever done in Cities. And I always told you guys, I think this is gonna be the highlight of it, and it took a long time to reach the highlight part of it. But now, having reached it, I am wholeheartedly happy with this. One of the few things, we have a few more cleanup things to do, because we have not really placed Sims everywhere. I think we placed Sims here at our Ministry of Propaganda already, where, Suli, I don't think you've seen those. I have a very nice viewer in my chat who keeps being motivated to make propaganda posters for me, and I absolutely adore these. So now we have a lot of different beautiful propaganda posters, and in general I'm super happy. Again, a lot of this build has been enabled by the stain decals of Elgando that he redid, because they are really nice. Sadly, actually, it's good that you're here, Riza, because I was gonna ask you, you sent me those glass decals, and I told you I was gonna correct a very small thing of those locally. You said you wanna also correct them, and I believe you have them in your Halloween pack. If I'm quite honest, I am not interested in your Halloween pack in the slightest. I do really want your glass decals though, because they are absolutely stunning and amazing, and it's one of the few things that I would like to do here still, because I think they really work well in the vibe. Like even the earlier version you sent me, I can show it here real quick. I just didn't use that yet because I did not want to break it if it's something that we go back on later. Where did I even put them? Here. But I do think they work really well. Like if you look at these windows, I do think the look of this is pretty much exactly what I want. So very happy with these. If you did update them, then yeah, I would be super happy if you could send me only these as a version, and then I'll just add these locally, and we're gonna go over a few of these places, like especially in these that clearly are abandoned, but then we did not board them up. I think these broken glass decals do a lot of heavy lifting. This one is even nicer in my opinion because it's a tad lighter, so not as much in your face. Though since it's such a subtle detail, I actually don't mind that this one is a bit stronger, because at least it's still noticeable if you look from further away. But yeah, generally this build is pretty much finished. There is a few small things we have to do, and it's mainly sim plopping. Because there is a few places that we want inhabited. This place here I see as inhabited, so this is definitely a property where we want to throw down some sims. Yeah, I'm let's see if I find a time for this, but I'm so proud of this build and it took us so long that I might make a YouTube video about this. In fact, I might make 3 YouTube videos about this and split it, because I think short videos are nice. And I don't want to show any like build process or any process of everything. I would literally just make a showcase video, and maybe I have to try it. Maybe it's fine with a single one. Maybe it makes sense to split it into 3, depending on the 3 parts of what we did here. But yes, I'm super happy. Again, the one thing we have to do, we did that all here. We have sim placement here. We have sim placement here. We have our scooter club where Gaga is ruling that we properly detailed up already. But there is a very few houses that we did not plop sims down. This is one of them. I know this is a bit run down, because sadly, well, we had a rock slide here that kinda tarnished half of their front yard. But I do want this to be one of the few lots in the city that still is properly inhabited. So here I would like to throw down a very few sims as well. I don't think we need many here. Again, we're in a run-down, dying gold town. But yeah, you get one here. I can show you the cage fight. We did make a cage fight. And also, welcome in, Mr. Trogan. Nice to see you here, and welcome in. Hope all of you cuties are having a nice day. And excuse me if I cough a bit today. I do feel it's one of the reasons why I'm streaming earlier, because I'm not doing anything else. I do feel a little sick, so my voice is a bit damp, and I guess I will cough a bit more than usually. So forgive me for that. Oh, and because you asked, Metzger, it's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. We could have done a better job on this, but this is where you have your backyard cage fight. It is in there. I know you asked for it, or I'm not even sure. I think you asked for it. But I know it's been suggested, and yeah, we did build one. It's nothing special, mainly because we can't really animate our sims, which would go a long way, but it is there. And to be honest, with this lot, I already think it's enough. There is a few... I really don't care, Rukia. You can address me however you would like to address me. I will be perfectly fine with everything. And there is a few things. One of them I want to do right now, because I will forget about otherwise. We started to do this pretty fine, but then we kind of forgot about it somewhere. One of the things that to me as a European person really stands out when I visit the US is the amount of mailboxes, especially in rural areas, that people have in front of their lots. And we've been decentish, not too great, not too horrible so far, but actually adding mailboxes everywhere. So I want to actually recheck this real quick in our city. I don't mind so much with the commercial units. They don't need a proper mailbox like that on the outside. And I don't mind so much with some of the residential units like this one that are multi-level. But then if it's single residential homes like these, for example, but yeah, here we did it. I'm gonna check, did we do it here? Here we did it. I want mailboxes on all of these. I know it's a super small detail that probably nobody outside of us is ever gonna pay attention to or even realize we did, but then we don't care. We do things for ourselves, and I think these mailboxes do a lot of heavy lifting, so I care about adding those. In this one, I would like to, but then I don't think we can do that easily because the entire build is full of decals. Yeah, we cannot touch this, but I would like to adjust it. So what we're gonna do here real quick, just make sure we have the right element, is lift it up. This is slightly frustrating, but no other way around it right now. And now we can move it back down with EDT, but now we can actually touch and trigger it, which allows us to give this, this shouldn't be on 45, this should be on 1. Now this allows us to give this some slight twist, because this is an abandoned lot, so it had a mailbox, but I clearly don't want this to be properly taken care of, so I think this is a lot better than if it just stands up straight. And I want to check really quick, because I think this, I would say, is an industrial lot, so I don't mind mailboxes too much. So maybe, actually, yeah, I think this also can get a mailbox. And again, I said we were in the very last few boring, very detailed parts. I wasn't lying. Like today, we're really probably entirely finishing this, but it's gonna be very small work. It's probably gonna be a bit of graffiti. It's gonna be mailboxes and sims and maybe very few props. But then that's all we're gonna do today. Because I don't have that much time today, so it's gonna be an early and short stream. There is a reason I call it quickie in Los Vagos today. And congrats, Rookie, to you. I didn't even realize at first, but you won the overcharged egg competition, right? To be honest, I don't follow the most of overcharged egg stuff very closely. And especially with the competitions, I have not paid much attention because I always assume they are only for vanilla builds. But then your build was heavily modded, so I guess that's not full on correct. Okay, we have mailboxes everywhere we need. The one thing I still want to add here, and then this lot is also entirely done, that we forgot about, is some dumpsters, and we're gonna be lazy and use these pre-detailed ones from Jay that I absolutely adore because they save us a lot of work. And yes, this is kinda in the road, but it's so rural, we can totally get away with that fine. Most of the time with mods now. Okay, that's actually interesting. I feel like some of the very big creators have been opening themselves up to mods a bit more. Like, not only Overcharged X seems to build more with mods, but Bifa also seems to have dived into mods a bit heavier. And in general, it feels like some of the bigger creators that were holding off playing vanilla have finally realized that waiting for the editor is a long wait and might as well enjoy the game already. Yeah, fair. To be honest, like for example, with Bifa's content, I don't really follow Bifa's content. I find Bifa's community very interesting, and I find Bifa's videos very well made and entertaining. I'm just not into traffic managing. And even if I was into traffic managing, then I would probably be into it in a game where the traffic AI is a little less shit than what we have in Cities Skylines. Because managing traffic in a game with the traffic AI as bad as this, I said it many times in the past, that does seem beyond tilting to me, and I understand if anybody from the Bifa's community has not much good to say about cities, because yeah, as a traffic manager, I would tilt off worse in this game. Is there still? I'm actually curious about this because I've been noticing more and more illegal U-turns in my city, and it feels like the more I forbid U-turns in areas, the more my Sims feel like there is need to still U-turn in some places and ignore my forbidden lane changes. There is no mod solution to any of that we have right now, right? Because I think I could literally show it on stream if we go there. I have a space, yes, right here. Did you just see this guy? I don't know what it is here. I think it is because we have a pedestrian part that's connecting here. I noticed that a few times because if you have the invisible passes, they do create an intersection, logic-wise, I believe. But then to his lane connector, you cannot target those because it's not... Well, yes, we can, but... Oh, hold on. This reset. Wait. Why did this intersection reset? This should have not reset. I fixed all of this before. Hold on. Will we stop seeing U-turns here? I take everything back I just said. This reset. I looked at this yesterday because I said this a few days ago. I must have done something here that this intersection reset. And yesterday I had so many U-turns here that it actually crippled my traffic slightly. So I guess that's on me. I was gonna ask you guys and complain about so many U-turns in this area. But that has literally been entirely my fault. Which usually, if there is any problems in this city, it's entirely my fault. So I shouldn't be so surprised. Interesting. What do you mean? I don't follow. I've even watched Picana's last video, though to be fair, only a bit half-eyed while playing myself. So I might have missed the part you're talking about. What brick stamps do you mean? Because to be quite frank, I cannot follow. And Sully, if you're still here, have you made any progress with StarQ on the modding? Because I seen that StarQ said it's net installation related. And I literally was wondering if I should ask you if that's the case, because you told me you had a bit of issues lately. And the only time I had issues I could not resolve by myself, but thanks to StarQ, not StarQ, thanks to Elgendo, I understood what's going on, because he also told me that I should recheck my net version, because I had a wrong net version. And are you sure you're on the right version? Because for me, back then, I believe I was on net 8 instead of net 6, or the other way around. Maybe I'm confusing it. But then I just had to install a different net version, and the moment I did that, all of my issues resolved for me. So if it's also net related, make sure that you do have the correct version of net installed and not the too new or too old one. Actually, that sucks. Yeah, I can understand, especially if you've little time right now. Of course, that's frustrating if you then spend that little time on troubleshooting and annoying things. So I wish you good luck that you can resolve it. I would say or ask you what you're working on, but I guess that would be a bit of a spoiler, so I don't, but I think I probably know. Yeah, I did not even, I had two issues with net. One issue in net I had in the past is that I needed to change the actual project setting to apply the correct net version. But then in the very past, when I literally, prior to making my very first mod, I had issues for publishing my very first mod. And nobody could help me, but Elgendo could. Elgendo told me that I should check my net version and make sure it's, again, either 6 or 8, I don't recall. And once I done that, all of my issues resolved. That's why I'm asking about it, because I would have never even thought about checking that back then, so that was really appreciated help and input to me. And I've seen the weirdest Reddit posts ever, where I still cannot believe how that can even happen. But there was a guy on Reddit posted this morning. I seen it while, well, I shouldn't say, but I was sitting on the toilet this morning. And apparently, after the last patch, all of his save files disappeared in his game, but he has some already unpublished assets of the ports and bridges in his game. So somehow the Steam update must have walked out on him and downloaded parts of the beta branch or something. I have no clue how that can happen or how it's gotten to that. And that guy was behaving pretty nice and actually showed screenshots where you can see that he's not lying and he has some of those assets, but made sure to not actually spoil or anything or like leak anything. But crazy, yeah? Imagine you wake up and suddenly you have unreleased content in your game and a weird buggy installation that doesn't work anymore. Never seen or heard about anything like that before. I think it's probably the funniest bug, together with one other that I'm sure some of you have seen. Also, I believe I've seen on Reddit where there was a guy who got in really ironically large buildings for some reason. They just scaled up by a gigantic amount, which got me very interesting, because that should mean that we must have some opportunity to scale things somehow. But yeah, I don't think anything ever came out of that, but I find it super curious when some of those very crazy buggy things are happening. And honestly, I think we are done besides putting themes in this. This is the last area we have not put any themes in. This part I want abandoned, so I don't even want any themes. Oh well, and I said we're done, but yeah, we forgot graffiti. There is still some areas we need to add graffiti, of course. But then in this ghost town, I want to keep the graffiti pretty light, so it's not gonna be as much work as usually when we graffiti places. But yes, obviously we're gonna have to put down a little graffiti at least. And Sully, if you're still here, again, I'm sorry, I did lurk in peace if you aren't, so don't feel needed to answer me. But one of the things I was wondering a lot, and I think I asked Yen about it, who said maybe that's something he can implement, but maybe you have control about that as well, because I know you and Starq made those themes together. One of the things I would love to have with these sims is the same feature I have with vegetation, where I can select multiple, and if I click them down, I randomly circle through them. That would be so useful if I could collect the man, the woman, and a teenager model, and a homeless model.
Some Latinos up here.
And then just automatically randomize and bounce through them. I'm not sure if that is something you can impact on your side, or Starq you can. I know that Yen said he can do something about that in future, but I'm sure Yen is busy with movie stuff, and there is more relevant stuff for him than to look into this. But for me, this would be an absolutely enormous change to the game that would really, really make detailing quicker and easier. What do you mean? You were losing, you were missing, is what you mean? Or you're losing it over the Simplopping? We're already done with the Simplopping though, since it's an abandoned part of the city. There is not much Simplopping to be done. Again, the one thing I still want to do is graffiti, but I want to keep it light. I don't want to go too hard. In this area of the city, we went a bit harder with graffiti, because it's still somewhat alive. And here I want to preserve it a bit, but yes, it's a tad too clean. Like, we need some small,
I am moving in, boy.
quick details. Oh god, Damir buying, I believe, the last water tower you don't own. This is bad news for Los Vagos, guys. Like, in future, if Damir keeps this up, we are open to a lot of blackmailing. It is yours already, what the heck? Is this yours? This is also yours, Damir. Is it? I'm sure I remember that there was one you still can claim, but which one was it? This one? This one is not yours yet. Yes, there is one. I knew it as well. Yeah, I have bad news in you guys. Our entire water supply in Los Vagos is now in the hands of Damir. So with that, Damir is a nice Cities Skylines streamer. I don't do this just because I feel scared of being blackmailed or anything, but Damir is an amazing Cities Skylines streamer. Everybody should follow him. I surely this is not just because I'm scared and afraid of him doing bad things to us in future, but it might be. But for whatever reason it is, you guys all should check out Damir. In fact, I'm gonna give Damir a shout out. He does stream cities, he also does stream quite a lot of variety, so be warned or not warned. I know some people are into variety, some people are here for just the cities content. So just so you know what you're getting into, but yeah, very enjoyable over at Damir's otherwise. And maybe these nice words also give us a safe water supply for the next few months. I'm not sure. But yeah, we better hope that Damir does not decide we don't deserve proper water supply anymore. Because if he does, then yeah, we're in slight issues. Yeah, this is a bit annoying because again, I said this yesterday on stream. I have an entire decal pack that's finished and ready to be uploaded. But due to the weird naming thingy right now, I'm not sure if my name will get reset back or not, or what happens. So I can't really publish this yet, because I can't rename it afterwards without breaking the mod. So thanks to Twitch being weird, we have to be a bit more patient till I can publish that back. What is I'm being silly here. You have to explain more to me, because I guess I should know what Whisker Wood is. I have to admit that I don't. Maybe it's the name of your city by the context of it, but I don't think we have mice in cities, so that does not fully seem to add up. But Not sure if it's my slow and silly brain, but I cannot follow. Ah, okay. Now I see. Yeah, see, you always try every crazy new game ever, and it's one of the reasons why I actually quite enjoy variety streamers sometimes. Because if I'm unsure if a new game is worth it to get checked out, then I just jump in somebody else's stream and have a look at it. But I am not very up to date with the general gaming landscape outside of the few games I very much am into. So I have no clue. Welcome in, KS Fun. Look what I just placed a second before you joined the stream. Why are you doing graffiti in my cute Gold Rush town? Can you tell me why? That's not very nice of you. I spent a lot of time to detail this. And now you come in here and just draw on my stuff? Not like I can stop you, but then that's not appreciated, I'll tell you that much. Well, orange on orange, I guess, is not the best one. In fact, I think we don't want anything in the front. We want stuff here in the back. Indeed, very nice. And very good timing, and very nice, in fact. And I hope you guys realize I've been a busy bee. Not only do we have sub badges now, and people who were subscribed have that cool ass cactus in front of their name that changes color depending on how long they are. But since we're not Booty Addict anymore, but we're MayorCheeks now, I also finally made an icon for the currency. I don't even know how to call it, for the channel points, I guess. And not only do we have an item, I also renamed it, because we've been very hard on the dictatorship kinda vibe lately in the stream, so I decided we might as well call our currency or channel point social credit, and now we have social credit in our channel, and now we have a nice icon for it. So be careful, guys, if you don't behave, it's gonna be negative social credit. Honestly, more than enough already. One thing I might want to do. Yeah, I mean, I think by now I actually rebranded pretty much everything that I had to. But yes, it actually was quite a lot, especially since I did not expect I have to do any of this. Actually, looking at this, I do think we want to build one more cute scene here, because this really I see as an abandoned back of the building. In fact, now looking at this, maybe we should actually, I do think sadly we're not done yet, and this back of the building deserves a bit more love, because the front, we put a lot of love in here and made it run down and shitty. And I would like to put a cute scene back here. Well, not a cute scene, but I would like to have the troubling teenagers. I would like to have a group of teenagers here that hang around and drink and do things. And I was gonna say the building is really abandoned, so it's a nice spot because it's hidden away from the eyes of everybody. But then on the back side of the building, it does look fairly clean. So I fear we're gonna have to go in and window board a bit. But we did learn. I think we're probably a lot quicker with the window boards this time than in the past, so it shouldn't be as bad. Because one of the things I actually really appreciate visually is this, which I don't think we should do this in the bottom floors. I think the bottom floors we should properly board up, but then in the upper floors, I think this is a perfectly fine solution. This, sadly, but even this, maybe we can move it backwards to look appropriate, but just to get a bit more variation than what we had before. I think we should switch it up a bit, but we should start in the bottom. Again, this is a tad annoying, because if we put them where we want them, then the alignment of these is gonna be off a bit, so we have to put them in this place, and then move them over. We're gonna do the same here, and then we have the two bottom ones here already covered. Flip this one, and flip it back for some more variation. Well, I said it a lot on stream, so I'm gonna try to keep this short to not bore people too much. But yes, I did change name, but not out of choice, but because I've gotten reported and Twitch forced the username change on me for sexual display name. Because clearly Booty is a terribly offensive nickname. Since I appealed and won, and Twitch says they've done a mistake and Booty Addict is fine as a nickname. But since I had the forced nickname change, I'm now also on a cooldown for 2 months, I believe, a bit over exactly 2 months till I can rename again. So with that in mind, we are probably gonna be Booty Addict forever, because we're gonna be MayorCheeks forever, because I don't see us changing that name back when we're allowed to. But yes, so we did rebrand. Did we decide to rebrand, or did Twitch make us rebrand? Twitch totally made us rebrand, which again might not be for the worse. I don't hate our new nickname. At least we're a little less degenerate and measured slightly, so might be for the best after all. Yeah, I mean, I guess I very much like that sentence. In fact, that sentence deserves to be a quote somewhere in my Discord, because that is beautiful, Mofdash. And indeed, I guess we lived long enough to become a mayor of Cheektown by now. Which boards? These? The bottom ones? Because yes, I also think we should twist them slightly. In the top ones here, it does not really matter which direct... Oh no, what did I do there? Well, we're just gonna leave that. This is not how you board up windows, but yeah, I guess Elgando, as always, is right, and we should give these a bit more... Oh god, no. We can actually not do this easily. I just changed my keyboard language on accident. Hold on, 1 second. I need to change back my keyboard language so I can use normal shortcuts. But yeah, I'm actually silly because I cannot do what Elegando is asking for with Move It. And we have decals everywhere, so we cannot use EDT here. So what we're gonna do instead is this one is fine. But yes, with the others, of course, Elegando right as always. It should be a bit more like we did in the front, a bit more crooked, back and forth. This one we're gonna put something like this, and then these we're gonna zigzag. Something like this. Not perfect, but who cares? Again, this is a backside of a building that nobody's ever gonna look at. We're putting way too much love into this here. But of course, you're right, so we're gonna clean this up a bit. Are you satisfied with us now, Elgando? Is this better? Of course, this still looks way too clean, because no decals, but we'll get to that in a moment. And let me catch up on cheat really quick. Yeah, the window boards are vanilla. The problem is a bit with the window boards that the mesh of them is only one-sided. So they are really nice to use as actual window boards and something. I do love the mesh and wish we could use this for more things to build stuff out from, but since the mesh is one-sided, if you look at it from the back, you just look straight through it, so it's not the perfect mesh, but otherwise it's really nice. I mean, Suli, you already said that in my Discord, and it makes me giggle, to be honest, which I can live with it. That's something that is in your head, is your unconsciousness being naughty. I have, of course, nothing to do with it. Yeah, all of these are vanilla. So yes, you can use it in your game as much as I can. And now these are a bit annoying. With these, we have to have a bit of a look. Maybe we can even take... I think we can do this. It's a bit dirty, but just so we add some variety. And we can even take this on the door as well. And maybe we're switching up with these and we close one manually, but one of these I think is perfectly fine if we board it up that way, and then we're gonna do the same here for the door. And then this one we're gonna board up manually and a bit crooked and bad, so it's not as seamless. Again, we're gonna have to place these out here because of the window frame and then move them into place. Slightly annoying, but nothing we can do about it. And welcome in, Dava. Nice to see you. I mean, maybe if I get banned again, then I can rebrand to that chaos. I don't hate it. This is the best build I ever made, Dava. I think. I'm sure other people would agree, but this entire build, which again we've also been working on for like over a month by now, I believe. But I never built anything as good as this in this game, and I doubt I will ever build anything as good as this ever again. Did a bit of an oopsie here. Can we fix this oopsie? Kinda. That works. But yes, Dava, I think you've seen most of the build, but you've never seen this. You've never seen it finished. Look at this, Dava. This now is considered finished. And is this not cute? Did this not turn out absolutely adorable? I think I've showed you this in the past, but I know you love rail infrastructure. We have the cutest and smallest rail infrastructure in this. This is the most unique rail infrastructure anybody has to offer, because I'm literally the only person in the history of CS2 who has this asset. Well, I guess Jay has it as well, but Jay does not actually play the game. So I don't think I'm disappointing with rail infrastructure. In fact, Damir, my rail infrastructure here is top notch, because not only do we have these here, we also then, if the rocks get here by the lorries, they either get brought into this warehouse here, or they can get directly to our freight elevator to bring them up here. And then obviously here we have the conveyor belt to also bring it up or down, depending on what we need. But then we do have this. And then up here we have another rail where the lorries can bring the material down here over this absolutely stunning, beautiful old bridge. And then behind this absolutely stunning, beautiful bridge, we have this abandoned old train station where in the past the stuff got reloaded from the lorry onto the actual trains. So if this has too little train in a build this small, I don't know how you can fit more rail infrastructure into this. Yeah, actually, bridges and ports allure. Surely this is not a self-built asset by Jay. Surely this is from the pre-release of bridges and ports. Look at what YouTube. I am confused. What happened in YouTube? Oh, it's happening. It just dropped. Hold on. I don't have a proper source for this, and my game is gonna struggle. First thing we do is save my game, because else we might crash. Can somebody post a link into chat, and I try to really quickly manage to share my browser without doxing myself? Which, hold on. Bookmarks, bookmarks toolbar. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you guys, I hope this works. I did set up a source for this a long time ago that we never use because my computer is shit. Bear with me, let me know if you can hear the sound. You guys should see the video. Let me see if you can, or let me tell if you can see the video. And also tell me if you can hear something. I hope you can. I'm gonna pause our music real quick. Okay, music pause. This is the first time ever we're watching a video together on this channel. So let's have a look together at bridges and ports. Guys, we have to. I'm so sorry. We have to stop all the time. I'm so many details to take in. Okay, sound works fine. What do we see? What is this? We immediately see this, which I love this. Holy shit, is this a bridge we're getting? If so, this is stunningly beautiful. That bridge is stunningly beautiful. You guys might have better eyes than me. Point out things that you see that I didn't yet. Because maybe I missed something. This looks like a normal... Actually, this does not look like a normal bridge. This has something below it. I'm gonna keep playing, but yeah, this is the bridge right away. Crazy, yeah? This actually looks very similar to a bridge we have in my city, and this bridge looks stunning. I love this bridge. And this one looks different than the two others as well. Maybe we have to grow a bigger city, because goddamn, this is exciting. This is a modern racing bridge. Honestly, super ugly. I will never use this. Super cool that we have this in game. I want to use the old one. But yes, great, we have this in game, but goddamn, is this hideous. Looks horrible. Hold on. I was too slow stopping. This one, I love this bridge. I mean, I'm sure some of the NDA people in chat know, and I would love if they say something, but this is a racing bridge, right? This will split here in the middle and raise up. If so, goddamn shit, this is amazing. Yeah, the boats, actually, I did not even realize. And proper good-looking boats, because as nice as the solution by Washi is, I think the boats look horrible. They look as good as what you can do with the game right now, so that is not his fault, obviously. But yeah, an actually nice looking boat, what the heck. So glad for this as well. Yeah, and look at these all hot. This is a very pretty model. Let's see, did we miss one? I did not even pay attention. We have the yacht model. Like the motorboat yacht, and then we have the sailing yacht, which I guess that's only these two as well. Yeah, it's only these two, and then this ferry, but from the smaller ones. Okay, yeah, that's all the same ones as well. This is no, this is this the one we have already? This looks so small in here. Is this new? Or is this the one we have in... This looks different. To be honest, I never use the one we have in-game, because it's so big. This is smaller, right? This is new, indeed. Yeah, and what is this? new bridge back here, new bridge back here, new bridge back here. But now, what is this? Do you guys see where can you guys see where my cursor is on the stream? If so, look at that thing. That is also new, if I'm not mistaken. Some cool decoration for, I guess, a cargo, or not a cargo terminal, a ferry terminal, maybe? That could be a ferry terminal, actually, the longer I look at it. I'm very curious, because yeah, this is new, and actually even the more I look at this, I see more and more new things. This is also new, guys. Look at this. This thing where my mouse is over right now, we don't have this in game, or am I tripping? This also looks new. There is so much new stuff in this image. Holy shit, this is new, this is new, this is new. All the 3 bridges are new. That one is so far away that I can't realize, but holy shit. Sorry, I'm gonna keep playing. I stopped so much, but what the heck? What is new here? I don't see anything here. This is the bridge I think I'm probably the most exciting about. This thing looks so beautiful. I hope they go a bit closer to it. And yeah, you guys are right. The warehouses are also different. These are also new for sure. Yeah, and a raising one, Dava. Do you see this? Like, I imagine this just drives up in game. Oh! A different new boat model. I guess this is the fishing boat, so makes sense. There is another one. Hold on, I'm also a little overwhelmed. Metzger says the pie looks different. No. I'm gonna tell you, you're wrong. This pile is exactly the old pile we had already. Yeah? This is the very big pile we have in game currently. What does look a little different is the things around it that were broken right now. So maybe, yeah. But yes, the piles we have these are just the big sand piles. I think they are just what we already have. Holy shit! And here in the background is another shot of that crazy new raising bridge. That thing looks so holy shit. Oh, and look, even we have 2 different, I believe at least, looking at these, they should both be fishing boats, visually. And these are 2 different fishing boats. Hold on, lighthouse on the left, did I not pay attention? In this frame. This is a lighthouse, you mean? Or did I stop in the wrong frame? This is so exciting, guys. Am I the only one? Like, this is wholeheartedly. What the fuck? I had no idea. I mean, I figured a little, because this entire week in the TDW Discord, every single day TDW was saying something exciting is gonna come this week, but not yet. Every single day he came in again and said, oh, let me check the timer. Not yet. So I guess I'm not super surprised, but could have been bait as well. I mean, just wait, Gaga. We'll find a way somehow. And maybe we also change shape. What is this? What are we looking at, guys? Is this all fishing infrastructure? What are we looking at? Is this all? This looks like fishing infrastructure. Were they like typical fish farms, I guess? Yeah, fish farms, okay. It must be. Yeah, I guess this is fishing nets and fish farms. Not sure how I like the visuals of this, to be honest. Because now comes the real question. If this works like the typical specialized industry we have in the game right now, this is gonna be an absolute disaster and horrible. Because if this works like specialized industry does right now, you're gonna draw a big circle here. And then at random have random nets and stuff popping up over your water that you have no control over. So let's hope they learn something from their old mistakes and the horrible state that specialized industries in currently, and this is less bad. Oil platforms as well. Where are some of these oil platforms? No, this looks all like fishing infrastructure. But yeah, I guess probably most likely you draw the area and then have random pop-ups. The oil platform looks stunning as well. And this is a new model as well, right? I'm in the middle of a desert, so it's not like I've used boats much lately. But this is new, isn't it? There is so much new stuff in here too. And oh, hold on, there's even two different sizes in a small tanker and a very big tanker. Also lovely that we get some different sizes. I was wondering about that earlier. Let's remember where we are, 41 seconds, because in the very start of the thingy, some of these boats look smaller. Is this the container ship we have in game currently, or is this smaller than the container ship we have right now? I guess it is the one we have right now. Okay, never mind, I'm gonna go back, but yeah, the different sizes is cool, because then you can even have some traffic in like smaller rivers and something like that. Very cool. This bridge is also something we get a better look at here. This is also new, no? To be honest, I'm probably not the best person to watch this with, because I'm in a desert and I build a small rural city, so I don't have big bridges like this, but I think this is new and this looks beautiful. Where tool booth? Am I blind? Point me, where do I have to look, Dava? Am I blind? Here, I am blind. Yeah, you're right, actually, right here. The question is if that is just built with the border control ones, or if this is gonna be an actual asset. But yeah, you're right, this might actually be a proper asset we can plop down. This is also new. I did not realize this bridge. This is the prettiest bridge out of all of them, guys. I mean, I don't mind Solid. Like, the truth is, even if many of these things I will probably personally not use, I'm happy about anything the game has to offer, even if it's just for me seeing cooler builds by other people that use those, or because it enables me for future builds. But yes, for those Vagos, none of this is gonna matter super much. Though, honestly, this bridge back here, I wish we could see that bigger. This bridge back here, I would totally use. Like, very, very pretty. Yeah, I agree with you. The pile loading, this is different. You're totally right. And that is great news, because those meshes have been broken. Like, after the trailer, when we jump back into the game, I will show you guys that this is how this looks right now, and that this is a broken mesh, so this is big news. Also, curious question for anybody looking at this, because we know that generally these cities in these trailers are built by some community content creator. Can you see a style of creator in this? Because if I look at this city, I have no idea who might have built this. This does not ring a specific builder style to me. This bridge, really, I wish we would get a better shot of this bridge. This bridge is beautiful. This bridge is beautiful. That bridge is also beautiful, but way too big. That's actually very exciting. The bad news for me is I'm busy this weekend, so when the DLC drops, I will not have time to play the game. And sad that this is just a picture or an AI weirdly picture because this says nothing. But yeah, I guess this is the bridge where I was asking earlier if it will be able to open or not, and I guess it will be able to. Which big factory? This one, I think this is the one we have right now. That looks like the same model of, I'm not sure if it's a car factory or the big farmer or something. But if this is the one that we're looking at, then I believe we have this. The lighthouses I missed. You guys kept saying lighthouses, but neither do I see a lighthouse in this. Nor have I seen a lighthouse in any of the scenes in the trailer, which probably is because I'm legally blind. But... oh, you're not watching, you're only listening, Elgendo. If you're only listening, we're watching the Bridges and Ports trailer that apparently just dropped and is very exciting. This shot in the beginning or the one in the very beginning? No? I'm trying to decipher. Alright, Chaos, have an absolute wonderful day, and I hope we could get you excited, because holy shit, this trailer looks great. Even though not that much exciting things for me. Well, I mean, I'm not that interested for me as well, but there is a lot of amazing stuff, and if I imagine a city like Davos, for example, Davos City is gonna look twice as pretty with this. Because really, and the shot in the beginning, am I blind? This is not a shot in the beginning, there is no big island. Where there is, this is a big island, at the left of the big island, somewhere here. Probably this is the wrong shot, I don't see anything. Oh, actually, yeah, I do. This. It's hard to see because the resolution is so bad right now. But in any of these, maybe. Oh, 33 seconds. Okay, hold on. This one up here. Could be. I don't trust this because we have so many other towers. This might as well be one of the water towers from the Dutch or the French or the Eastern European pack. So could be, but also could be just a silhouette of a water tower. Wish we could zoom in on YouTube. Yeah, I was thinking the same, but the Dutch water tower is a bit more round at the top. Actually, the longer I look at this silhouette, it looks different than the towers we have. What is your guys' favorite out of everything we've seen in this trailer? I'm gonna let it run in the background while I ask you guys. You guys see so much more things that I miss. Where's the new rival? Oh, here, you're right. Actually, this looks great. I love this. This looks stunning. Really? Yeah, you're totally right. I did not read this. Yeah, the green bridge is so stunning. I agree. Also, really, really underappreciated is that we finally get some actual boat models. Because, yeah, we have many of those local boats. And especially the small green boat looks really cute. But then most of the boats, I don't like any of them. I think they are trying to look like boats, but as soon as you actually zoom in on them, they don't. Which is not the fault of the creators, can only work with what you have, but still. Crazy! I did not expect this, and this was really cool to watch with you guys together, to have a look at this. Because yes, I say we're not gonna use this, but some of the bridges we can use. Like, I definitely would like to have some more bigger bridges gapping over something like here. In fact, this is one of the things I wanted to build on more in the future. I tried a bit around doing a custom arch here in the bridge. I'm not super happy with how this worked out right now. But I was gonna say, that is one of the things I wanna dive in with you guys soon to make this bridge a bit prettier. But now we should just wait for whatever we're getting, and maybe we can just put a pretty bridge here. What I always sadly miss a bit, and I think there is not gonna be much change about, I would love if we would get some smaller cute bridges as well, right? Like something really small like this. Is that you, Sunny? It is at Sunny City. Actually, okay, you did drop enough hints. I was wondering for a moment, because yes, there is one person in chat right now that has to be careful what they say without giving away too much. But that has a very clean style of building, and the city we looked on was very clean, so I could imagine there is somebody in chat who has something to do with that build. And take care, Sonny. Thanks so much for tuning in. But yeah, that is very exciting, actually. I couldn't even pay proper attention to the city or the build because I was too in awe with all of the new stuff we just seen. So I might have missed it a bit. Yeah, don't worry. Like, again, it's gonna be a pretty short stream. I don't have that much time. But actually, looking at that small bridge, it's funny that we're getting the trailer now, because I tried around with this off stream, which clearly looks horrible for now, but it was my attempt at maybe being able to build our own shitty small truss bridge. Or truss bridge, I don't know how you would pronounce that in English. But we tried around with this. We might still have to try around with this, because looking at the bridges in the trailer, they're all very big. And I would like something smaller than what we've seen in the trailer as well. So we might revisit this concept in future and have a look at building our own truss bridge somewhere. Yeah, have a nice day and evening, Metzger, and maybe till later, though again, I don't think I'll stream very long, so maybe like an hour or two more, and then I'm gonna jump, but I'm wholeheartedly in shock, like, and also 29th, that is not that long anymore. And after earlier I said, I'm a bit upset, because I'm gonna be in holidays over that weekend, so it's not like I'm gonna be able to enjoy the new content. But the more I think about it, that actually seems great, because if they have not learned from the past, which I doubt they have, then they will drop the patch together with all of the new content, so mods and everything are gonna break anyways. So I can enjoy my weekend being away, and then after the weekend, hopefully the mods work again, and I can dive right into the new cool content. So wholeheartedly, that kinda works out for us. Forgot to put on the music again. I'm still in shock. Like, that was wholeheartedly exciting. Like, maybe just me. Dava probably is the single most excited person, because I think your city is the most fitted to make use of all of that. Because Mesa is probably a bit like Sully or me, where he's like, or Masa, I should say, but you're probably not gonna be able to really use much in your small rural build either. I also hate the starting phase, and I hate the game in vanilla. I know that I tried to play in vanilla once, I don't think I ever was motivated at this game. Like, playing this game in vanilla, for me, there is people who say, yes, I understand it's an art form to work around the limits. For me, there is a very different art in playing this game in vanilla, and the art is to tolerate the amount of goddamn shit in this game. Because I cannot imagine playing this game in vanilla. Anything about this game that I am really excited about and that I wholeheartedly enjoy is pretty much gated behind mods. So the only thing I would limit myself is not tools, but is enjoyment. So I can never. Maybe in the future, if they add a few more of the core fundamental mods into the game, but then even something as basic as not having anarchy. How do you play this game without anarchy? I just... What do you even do? You cannot put anything anywhere, because everything collides. I do think, I talk about that a lot, because I think I could really like fixing traffic problems if the traffic AI would be better. My opinion on fixing the traffic in this game is the game is not in a state yet where traffic management is fun to do. I think you need a game with a better AI for traffic management to be enjoyable to do. And I don't think we're at that stage yet in Cities. Maybe that's just me, but then wholeheartedly, I'm tilting with this game, with the traffic. And not because I hate traffic, but just because of how wonky everything is. So, yeah, not a fan. Oh, we already have a major one there. In fact, we should go back to... Because otherwise I agree, like fixing traffic can be super fun, but then I think for that you do also need a properly functioning, good traffic AI. I would argue we don't yet have that. It's why I'm always, and I said this 1,000 times on stream already, so for some of you guys it's gonna be boring, but why I'm so impressed by Biffa and his community, because all they do is fixing traffic, and I do think that's literally the weakest part of the entire game. So I would hate doing nothing but fixing traffic in this game. I love this song, and I agree, and it's funny, Sully, because I can tell we have very similar tastes in some music at least. I'm sure we have more music we like and differ in others, but with rap music, whenever there's a track that I really enjoy and you're in chat, you're like, oh my god, this track is so nice, and it's always in the ones where I think the same in my head. So I agree. Yeah, you're a Swiftie. Actually, that scares me, because I'm not gonna say I have biased stereotypes against Swifties, but I might have biased stereotypes against Swifties. And these, I'm not sure, maybe Suli, you've been in my chat already since you've seen those. If not, I have really exciting news for you. Because you know that I've never been happy with the stains we have in this game, right? And the main stain I use in this game is just an adjusted real vision decal, which is... This one is 10 out of 10 best stain we have in the game, especially for big areas to do quick work. What I was always missing are very light and detailed stains that give me a lot of control over small areas to do things like this. And I did complain to Elgendo about the lack of small stains. And as always, Elgando, as the absolute mad lad he is, gave me this a few days later. And I love these stains. They are so small, they are so easy to work with, they don't bleed on anything. It is one of the best things that happened to the game in a long time, especially for our abandoned build here, because we only have so little tools to make things abandoned with. But then the amount of flexibility these give me to make small details in a build dirty and ugly, 10 out of 10. I adore these, I love these. This one, for example, it's so simple, it does so little, and it does not bleed anywhere, so you can literally just take it and spam it around everywhere. And it's not as strong as many of the other ones. Because my issue always been with many of the stains that they are realistic in strength if you compare it to reality. But then since the buildings in this game are so goddamn overly clean, if you have a realistic level of grittiness and stain in your build, then it looks really shitty and run down. Which I guess for our case here is wanted. But in some areas I just want a bare easy level of grittiness in there. And these are so good for that. And they are done, Elgando, no? You should release those. Make people happy, give people what they want, give people the best stains you currently have in the game. Maybe they're not done yet, and Elgando wants to do more things. But as somebody using them, I would say they're perfectly done already. This is starting to look a lot better. What I don't like yet is here, the white under the windows is too plain, and we're gonna switch these up a little to not have the same everywhere. But this looks 10 times better already, and maybe we can add one more of these in here, because I just love how well this fits into the white area. Yeah, this is a lot better. Now we're in a shape where we can actually build a scene around that I wanted. Because I wanted there to be especially much graffiti here in this area. And now we're gonna put around some teenagers here and some glass bottles and some dirt and everything. These buildings are 10 out of 10. These are the only 2 assets. There is a third one from the Dragon Gate pack that I love. It's why I would recommend people to get the Dragon Gate pack, while most of it is mainly Chinatown related. These 3 here aren't. Yes, you have to use right everywhere to hide the signage if you don't want to keep it as a Chinatown. Here I like it as a Chinatown, so here we're gonna keep the signage. In our Gold Rush town we had to go over those. But yeah, getting there. I generally just love, I'm gonna skip the track really quick because there is some weird interlude, so we're just gonna have people screaming at us. Yeah, most of the Dragon Gate pack ones are not recolorable. I always have to give a shout out to Kuxa, who I'm sure some of you know is very active sometimes in Suli's Discord. And Kuxa found out that these ones are recolorable, because I told him that I think the Dragon Gate pack is beautiful, but due to the lack of recolorability, I don't really have too much use for the pack. And then he showed me these 3 assets, and these you can recolor, and they're absolutely stunning, at least in my opinion. So alone for these 3 assets, I would buy the pack again. So really, yeah, really nice. Yeah, of course I will call you cutie anyway, and I hope you know me well enough that I can only ever repeat bullying is my love language. So if I say any mean things or make fun of you, then that comes from a good motivation. I'm not a true bully otherwise. You listen to whatever bad music you like. If you have bad taste, I'm not gonna judge you for it. That's all up to you. You do whatever makes you happy, and if that is listening to Taylor Swift, who am I to judge? And thanks, Dava. I think what I like about this town so much, and I said it many times, is that we actually managed to get, I think at least, maybe you guys disagree with me and say we did not manage, but I think I managed to get the vibe of a dying town, of abandonment next to businesses that are probably not gonna survive for longer than the next 10 years, because then this city is slowly gonna turn more and more into a ghost town. But I think this is one of my favorite examples, really, where you have a proper store in the bottom still, and then you have the abandoned residential unit in the top. I think this is 10 out of 10. And again, a lot of my builds are my European vision on how I think the US is, and then in reality it's probably a lot different. But in Eastern Germany, we have, especially in recent years, quite a few places like this, or especially in small cities in Eastern Germany, you just have young people moving out and away, right? And you have a still perfectly fine functional city that is not a ghost town or anything, but then every third to fifth unit is abandoned and boarded up or something. Sometimes it can be even more than that, sometimes it can be even less than that. Holy goddamn, what is up with the terrain back here? That looks like we had a goddamn earthquake. Why did I not even realize that before? I generally don't mind it too much, because this is supposed to be abandoned, but I guess this is a bit over the top. We are gonna have to do a little clean up of this terrain, and probably then do some decal work again, because I think we're probably gonna break some things here. Let's find out. That plant work is definitely out a lot higher than I'd like to. And yeah, we're breaking the decal work a little. I'm trying to do the slide, so we don't have to do too much over again. I think that's good enough. Like, I don't mind that the floor is not smooth. In fact, I did not mean for this floor to be smooth, but yeah, a bit better than what it is right now. And here I'm gonna try to finesse the game a bit and get this to be lazy. Let's see if this works. We're gonna deselect that one, and then can we move all of these together? That worked perfectly fine. Nice. The only area we broke really is this outside corridor decal wise. So we are just gonna fix that up real quick again. And also, cause I have a few more people in chat for once, I don't really advertise those or talk about it, but I know that some people prefer YouTube over Twitch. I do upload my VODs onto YouTube. If anybody is interested in checking those out, I have those on my About page linked, and you can get onto them very easily. I don't think it's relevant. I hope and I prefer to have people in my Twitch chat generally, because I think it's a lot more fun to watch, and the general vibes and flair of everything is nicer. So happy if people watch here instead of YouTube, but just wanted to mention it because I know that some people prefer YouTube. And it's not something I ever really talk about, because I have a bot pretty much auto-managing that YouTube account for me, and there is very little manual work behind it. And I guess I should have not just said that in the middle of the ad break, where literally nobody in God's earth could have heard it anyways, but it is what it is. I'm not known to be clever. And I think we're done with this. I want to put one last decal on a few places, because I think it gives a nice variation. And it's this rusty one. And then this building finally looks perfectly fine from the back as well. And now we can finally go in and build a teenager scene and then plop down a few more sims there, and then I think we're done with this entire build beside of graffiti. So let's have a quick look, because I actually want this to be troubling teenagers. So we need a male teen and a female teen, both here. Perfect. And we're just gonna put those around. Oh god, why are you sunk into the floor like that? That is not what we wanted to do. I don't understand why sometimes they tend to sink into the terrain so much for no apparent reason. One of the things I wish we would really have, and I know Sully made some, but I have to be honest, I don't love those, but some speakers in this game, they are so enabling to just put some music speakers somewhere on the floor to give a bit better vibe. Oh, she is half sunk into the... I cannot live with that. Let's hope we can manage to not delete anybody else. Ooh, we actually did manage. And let's place somebody here without their feet being half sunken into the ground. I don't know why the terrain here behaves in a way where they all are sunken. Okay, now we need very few details around this. One of the details we want is a barrel, because nothing cooler than teenagers standing around a burning barrel than this. And then what we want, and it's a trick that we use a lot, is a blanket for the picnic. And if you take these picnic blankets, you see we have bottles and stuff like that on there. If you just sink the picnic blanket into the floor slightly, some of these have more interesting models, some of these have less interesting models, but with some of these, this one I said the beer cans would be nice. All of the rest I don't like much. Maybe if we find an area in the terrain. Nope, I don't. Bye, like have a great time. Yeah, mate, don't worry. Thanks for tuning in and have an absolute wonderful day, mate. Did Jay already seen the trailer and already said what kind of props he's seen and what he's gonna build with it? I think sadly, due to the terrain, we are gonna be a bit limited here, and that should be fine. And really the only last thing I want, because this area is too clean, is the random trash pile to throw down a few random things back here and have it a bit less tidy than it currently is, and then we're perfectly happy with it. Nice, I love it, because before this, the entire backside of this building felt a bit bland, right? While everything else was nicely detailed up, this corner did not really add any value to our build. And you guys know I'm very big on everything needs to tell a story, everything needs to be dense and have a reason to be in there. Oh, well, no worries, mate. You can always watch the VOD, but very curious. Like, again, I'm not that excited because we're not gonna use so many of that, but I'm very excited because all of the things I've seen in the trailer look gorgeous and beautiful and interesting. So yeah, in all honesty, I like it. Like, very much I like it. And welcome in, Poplar. Nice to see you. And I'm actually happy to see my sub emotes that I made in chat because my sub emotes work well. And how do you guys think it's morally questionable that I renamed my channel Currency to Social Credit? Or do you think that is morally acceptable? And welcome back, Algeno. Nice work. And I mean, usually you complain about not enough happening at work, so now you can't complain about too much happening at work. At least something is going on. Yeah, Slick. I said this 1,000 times. I will have to say this 1,000 times more. Not by my choice. Somebody reported me. Twitch automatically forced me to change my username due to sexual nickname. I since appealed, and they say they made a mistake, and Booty Addict is a perfectly fine nickname. But now I'm on a 2 months cooldown to rename again, and they say even though they made a mistake and unfairly punished me, they cannot manually lift that limit or change my name for me. So we are gonna be MayorCheeks probably forever. But yes, it was not that I decided I really need a rebrand or anything. It was that Twitch decided, I guess, referencing a booty is not a run, so it's not okay. But welcome in, nice to see you, man. And again, I'm trying to gauge the limit a bit, because this is, I keep saying we're pretty much done with this build, and then I say, no, there is more we have to do. I promise this is the last extensive thing we still have to do in this build, and it's only graffiti, yeah? And I, again, don't want to go too overboard. I need to recheck a bit in here how much we want to do. I think this level of graffiti is pretty solid till we reach the mine, and then in the mine I want even less. I want maybe like 2 or 3 single graffitis in this area. It can't be plain, it's Los Vagos after all. We need some graffiti everywhere really, but it does not have to be as much. And good to see you as well, Slick. How are you doing on this lovely day today? Have you already seen the big news and checked out the Bridges and Ports trailer? And if so, how are your thoughts about it? In fact, I would be curious on Poplar's thoughts. Because I guess, especially for map makers, bridges are really enabling entire different, well, I would say build, but then it's a map, which I guess for a map maker, building a map is like their build. And a special bridge really seems like it gives you an entire new way to build a city around. Curious. So you pop without, I know you can't spoiler anything, so if I ask you a question and you can't answer it, just ignore me and don't answer it. but maybe you know and feel like it's something you can talk about. One of the things I would be very curious about in this game is the opportunity if you can port the water simulation from older saves. I would assume probably that's something modders could make possible. Because from my understanding, the decision why they don't want to apply the water simulation to existing saves is that they are scared of people breaking their game and then be upset about it. But if you take the mod route, then you know that you are potentially breaking your game, so it's your own risk, so they don't have to feel bad about it. Do you think that might be the case if you feel like you can answer that without giving too much away? Because it's not like we have much water, right? I literally have this body of water here, 1 water. Is this actual water or is this fake water? This is actual water. 2 water. 3 water. That's it. Everything. Oh, actually, that's not true. This is real water as well. 4, 5. Everything else is fake water in our city. So it does not mean too much for us. But yet now comes the but. This city has a river, and I know we not really been building this. Is it just an architecture catalog for now? I wanna build this city. It's no surprise that this already looks a bit better, because I think the central point of the city is public transport, and we already layouted a nice bus terminal here. I would love to be able to work more with water here and reroute this river a bit and smoothen it out. So I would be very curious if I can get a new water simulation into my build, or if that is impossible. What did you break, Slick? What is happening in your city? Also, actually, I think something is happening in our city that is very curious. We generally never have issues with anything. Oh my, what is happening in this godforsaken city? Guys. This keeps happening. I know what's happening here. This asset breaks my entire city sometimes. Because I have left-hand traffic, and this asset does not deal well with left-hand traffic. And if you use left-hand traffic, then occasionally you will get a weird situation in which you guys can see what's happening here. I have like a quadrillion stuck ambulances inside of each other, and it breaks my entire city. Let's hope this resolved it, because if it resolved it, then that will resolve the entire city. But it's so funny, because literally just me having left-hand traffic makes this asset difficult to use in my city. Because here, these ambulances have routing. See, this is what happens. Now, oh, can he unstuck himself? He can. Sometimes they can't. And then this conflict here, that only happens because we have left-hand traffic, can literally break this entire hospital. But yeah, I figured you can't talk about it, of course, Poplar. But it makes sense that you as a map maker prioritize to fixing up those things. Maybe, actually, it's been a long time that I had issues here, to be honest. Generally, I just moved the hospital very far away from the road to have a bit more buffer zone from here. This is the first time since I have an issue. And again, this entire city, I don't care about this city. The only reason I care about this city is because I want to stress test my outside connections. I want intercity gameplay. I want this to emulate another city. I want to have trains and buses and everything. This is not a city to me. We will probably end up bulldozing all of this eventually. But it helps us to stress test our save a bit better, to see if our roads can handle everything, and it gets a bit more interesting dynamic in our game, I would say. So I do appreciate it still. But yeah, I appreciate that Damir also says a modder will take care of it for sure, because I would hope so. I would really, really hope that we can bring the water simulation into it, because one of the things that you can already tell here, I've been trying around, if we actually build a city here, which I don't know if we will, because I want to build this city here first. But if we build a city here, I want to have a coastline. So I want to go in here and build a big body of water. Obviously, not like anything of this should not look remotely like it is right now. But so maybe eventually it will change that we have no water in Los Vagos. It might. I'm not sure. It might. Probably not. But yeah, it might really. Will a road with medians change that here? You meant that in regard to the hospital, Elgando? So if I use a road with median here, this will solve my issue. But it's already solved my issue. This is just gonna take forever now, because all of these pedestrians were locked in. Because the ambulance were on the boardwalk, so this is gonna take a while to clear up. But I think the issue is solved now. Like, this will just take another 10 minutes, and then all of this should be decluttered again. But yes, it's a lot of pedestrians, because all of them were trapped and could not move, and then they trapped all of my traffic, because there were pedestrians everywhere. I've had this happen a few times in the past, not recently, because I just had to move the hospital away. But yeah, that pretty much killed that entire city for us. And how will a median change that? Because even with a median, they can still change the lane there, can't they? I watched somebody stream and they used this graffiti and they chose it and they were like, oh, this one is broken, I can't see it. And I was like, okay, maybe I went a bit over the top on how small it is. So I think this is the smallest decal I will ever make in this game. Because after having seen that, yeah, I agree that decal is a bit too small, and I would also probably be confused using that. Curious. The reason I don't like the medians so much is the issue with the weird median breaking, right? Because the one time where I will have to suddenly start learning how to build proper roads is here, and I've been trying around with it. And this, well, here it's an intersection, but even here I hate it, because I would not want this intersection to go over both lanes. I wish we had a way to decide if we want the medians to open or not. Because here I literally just want the buses to move into it. I know I cannot do it any different, but it does tilt me a bit. Here I actually played around a bit, and now I know that if I just draw very long segments, I don't always have to have the median breaking, like it does here, but I don't know, I'm not a fan of medians due to this dynamic. Else, I think medians are beautiful and I would use them all the time, but I think they are a bit problematic in how they currently work in the game, sadly. Again, because I think they were super cool and I'd love to use them a lot, but I don't think they work that well currently. Did medians in CS1 have the same problem? There must have been a solution for that in CS1, no? So I hope we also get a solution for this in CS2, but who knows? Already too much. We don't want that much graffiti. I think really this level is what we want. And I believe that is only possible for us to get in CS2 once we have the asset editor, or why is that not something we have in the game yet? Elgando, why are you drawing on my walls? What is this? Also, Elgando, why are you drawing a heart of your own name in the wall? That's a bit arrogant, don't you think? Me, I'm not gonna question. You do what you want, but what do you mean? Oh, in CS1 it requires another mod, or do you mean in CS2 that would need multiple mods as well? I'm confused. Honestly, I think, well, this middle part is good enough. This is a residential unit, and at least people who have some values don't draw on residentials. So here we can put some, and then the rest really is just a mine where I want very, very little. That is one of the tools that I've seen CS1 players miss that I would love to have for CS2. That seems like an absolute game changer, the way it works. I believe as well, I've seen people say that that is not possible in CS2 yet till we have the asset editor. I guess that's one of the reasons why so many people want the asset editor. Because not only does it enable assets, but it also allows some things for mods that currently are not possible otherwise. Because I was talking to normies yesterday at the end of my stream when most of my EU and regular viewers were in bed already. And one of the things I wondered, but you probably know a lot better than me, Elgando, with something as simple as these roads, right? Should we not, once we have the asset editor, have the possibility to, with a certain mod, just apply different textures to this? Just be like, I want... I know vanilla asphalt is not a great idea because it is already vanilla asphalt, but any other, oh wait, it's legal, that makes sense. But if you take any of the lemon surfaces, for example, or any of your concrete, or any of Suli's concrete, really, is that a thing in CS1 where I can say, I want this texture, I want it on this road? Yes, but that's why I'm saying once we get the asset editor, is that not something, once we get the asset editor, where somebody can basically remodel all of the roads we have in the game currently, and then make them behave in a way where they load the textures afterwards and they're not part of the mesh? I'm trying to learn here, not meaning to be ignorant. I don't know how this behaves. But I'd be curious, because for me that would be such a big change to not having to draw the surfaces over, because I don't mind drawing surfaces if I lay out a lot or something, but drawing the road of every single sidewalk and road and everything is very tedious, and I would have at least imagined that that gets easier in future. Alright, I think I'm starting to be very happy with the amount of graffiti in all of the town. The only area where I'm not yet happy with graffiti, but I also I want very, very, very little graffiti in here, is this abandoned mine. I think this deserves some graffiti because it's close to the road and obviously abandoned. But then these further areas up here, maybe like 2 or 3 tags in the entire area, and then, and I said it many times, but I think this time is actually true, we are done with this build, but I cannot really believe myself yet, because really, we built on this for many months now, but I think we're about to finish and free ourselves from this entire goddamn gigantic build. And then probably we're gonna spend a lot of time in future streams making camera drives and such over here, because I do want to turn this into a video, but we can also dive in and detail normal things, because there is a few things that I already prepared, and I'm looking forward to actually diving into detailing. I don't like how that one fits. We need a very small one here. That's too hidden. Nobody's gonna realize that. We're gonna put one up here. That adds a little. We have a little here. And then I think the only last graffiti we want is maybe in this hut. This one I very much like, because it's barely visible, but it is visible if you look on a bit closer. So 10 out of 10, I think actually we can put 2 of that, and now I want one that's a bit more properly visible here, to add a bit more to the vibe. Are we missing graffiti somewhere? Are we happy with this? Probably we're missing a little graffiti up in this one, but the very rest of this, it should be fine. Oh, is an ad break. I'm actually gonna, because I have not taken a break yet, I'm gonna use the time real quick and send you guys on a quick road trip. I should be back in 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just gonna run to the toilet and grab something to drink real quick. So be right back in a moment. I'm gonna catch up on chat afterwards, but I want to use that break. So enjoy the road trip. I'll be back with you cuties in a moment.
my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Hi! Welcome in. Sorry, you cuties literally just came into raid right in the moment where I came back from the toilet. I just took the first and probably only break in the stream today, but thank you so much for the raid, Riri, and hope you had a nice stream today. What were you playing? Were you actually playing cities for once, or were you farming? Yeah, we watched the trailer on stream earlier when it dropped, because people told me that it came out, and I had no clue. That trailer looks very exciting, like wholeheartedly very exciting. Have you guys seen it already as well, or is that news for you? Because if it's not news for you, then very cool. Also, Riri, just because you're here, I'm not sure if you've seen this before, but you have some graffiti in the game since a while. In my last and recent decal pack, I know you're not as much of a detail nerd as I am, so not sure how much you're gonna use those, but I appreciate you, so I am happy to have you in my game. And for anybody who's not aware, Riri is also a city streamer, and I guess lately at least majority farm sim player, which not my favorite kind of game, but Riri is the only person who I do enjoy playing farm sim, because the man actually does cool things like a backflip sometimes, which I've never seen any other farm sim player do. So appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, and welcome in everybody. For the people who have not ever been in here before, welcome to Los Vagos, which is a very weird and funky desert redneck city, which really evolves around weird rogue rednecks in the city who have weird permanent built trailer homes. And we started as a very rural build, but since kind of gotten a bit bigger. We love highly detailed scenes. We love small cute things like people having a barbecue on their roof, and similar nice scenes like people having pool parties in the backyard. Our city is pretty big on the governor, which maybe is MayorCheeks. MayorCheeks surely is a great mayor who would give their citizens great things like dirt roads, because there is no money for asphalt. If you ask about asphalt roads, I'm not saying you're gonna have an accident. This person asked for asphalt roads, and he did have an accident, which I'm terribly sorry for, but I have nothing to do with it. I don't know what exactly happened here. Yeah, this is a quick overview of my city, and today we're actually finishing the biggest and longest build I've ever set on, and it's this gigantic open pit quarry in this site. We have this gigantic open pit quarry, which again, we went really hard on the detailing and this build. I hope it's fairly obvious to tell that there has been a lot of love invested into this. And then we have this beautiful rock wall and pine road here, and then the upper part of the quarry. And we have this side, which is our mine, and then today we finally finished all of this, which is the old, still kinda alive part of our gold rush town up here, and then the further you go up the hill, all of this is still kinda intact, starting to see a bit of abandonment, but not too much. And the further we move up here, the more it is run down and dying out and abandoned, and an actual fully dying gold rush town. And I do think by now we literally just placed the few last graffitis in this area. I think we are done outside of placing some graffiti up here. And then I am so happy to have finally finished this build, because we've been building this for the last, I don't know, 2 months maybe by now. Not exactly 2 months, but like 1.5. And I was in holidays a little, so a bit less than that. But it's been a long time. I am sure people in my chat are gonna be happy if we move on to somewhere else eventually. And how was your stream today, Riri? If you did not raid and run, then well deserved, and enjoy your break and hopefully some nice after stream snack. It feels so weird in our build because we plop so many sims everywhere to not load this entire area with sims, but it's abandoned. So obviously we cannot load this area up with sims everywhere. But that's what we have been doing generally, so it actually feels very different to not do that, but it's style appropriate and fits here, so I guess it's what we're gonna do. And maybe have a single proper graffiti. Can you climb? You can kinda climb here. I think we want a single proper graffiti somewhere here. If we can find one that's... Oh, actually this is even better than a proper graffiti. A big and appropriate tag. A bit sketchy, but I think it works. You could climb there. Like, even if you can't stand here on the bottom, you can definitely walk on the top and then lean down towards it. And I cannot believe I say this, guys, but we are done. I wholeheartedly cannot believe it, because we've been in this build for so long. And it's gigantic, but I do mean it. I don't know of anything we still need to do in this area. One thing we might revisit in future, depending on how our traffic is gonna look, we might actually open a way out here and give this a highway connection. The issue is I don't want this as a pass-through connection for people to get out of Los Vagos. That's why we did not do that so far. Probably if we can get away with it, we prefer to keep it closed. And yeah, a name change indeed, for anybody who's wondering. Again, most of the people in my chat have heard it 100 times now, so probably not too interesting. But I've got reported on Twitch, and Twitch automatically forced me to change my nickname. By now I've won the appeal and they said they made a mistake and my old nickname was perfectly fine. But I'm on a 2-month cooldown to rename myself again, so I think we're probably gonna stick with it. We're gonna take it as a way of measuring. I mean, I never planned on streaming, else I would have definitely not named myself Booty Addict, because goddamn, what an absolute horrible name for a streamer. But I did not know we were gonna stream, but I guess this is a somewhat acceptable and fitting name for us to decide we're just gonna roll with it and actually rename and measure slightly. But I have not decided yet. I also don't know how Twitch is gonna deal with this in future, so I don't know. We might be Booty again. Probably we're MayorCheeks now. And I don't mind the new name, but it was not because I was like, oh, I should rebrand. It was because Twitch decided they should force me to rebrand, and then afterwards tell me they made a mistake. But yes, that's what happened, and that's why you're MayorCheeks now. And I know I'm eating my own words here, because I just said we're done with this build a few seconds ago, and now I'm back in this build placing more decals. But whenever I say I'm done with something, I usually forgot about something else I still wanna do. And yes, we have not done any ground decal work in this area yet, which is not gonna be a massive change. So don't expect too much of this, but it's gonna bring it in vibe with the rest of our build a bit better. So I do feel like we should take those few seconds it takes to throw these in here as well. And now the even more relevant one for us is the moss decal, and this we definitely want a proper one with. Yeah, I know, Elgendo, it's not 90% of my gameplay, me either placing decals or me placing rocks or me placing plants. Really? Do we ever do anything different here? I don't think so. So why are you surprised? I mean, you're the biggest reason why I'm a decal addict, because you keep making so many amazing, nice decal and surface packs. So are you the right person to blame me for being a decal addict? I don't think so, Elgando. I think you're the one who should say sorry to my chat for having me watch place decals all the time, because really you're the reason I place decals all the time. But yes, now I stand by my word. I don't think it was that much work. Now we're finished, and I do think even this very little decal work we did here. Hold on, I'm eating my words again. We were basically finished, guys. Soon, basically. Where is it? This is the last thing we miss in some areas, especially here in the rails. I think it's gonna be very nice. But yes, especially on the rails, this helped massively, because I think they were quite a bit too plain before, and now with the decals, the rail look a lot more actually abandoned and overgrown. So I do think these were well invested 5 minutes if we compare the before and after. I do think these decals did really make a difference, and I know it is not always exciting to watch me place all of those decals, but then I do think it is exciting to see the pretty build afterwards when we placed everything. So it's part of the suffering. But yes, we are done. I am not gonna eat my own words again. We are fully at 100% done with this build for now. Probably we will find things in future that we're gonna revisit on. But we're done with this. Now the next question is what the next project we dive into is. And we either go and finish up this start of the cinema we built out here. In all honesty, this is probably the most boring of the options I'm gonna offer you guys, because I think the detailing in this is pretty much done, beside very little prop work. This is mainly decal work as well, so we're gonna go right back to Elgeno making fun of us for being decal addicts. So maybe we should not play into Elgendo's agenda and do something else. We could start detail out this fire station, which in all honesty, I don't think we need to do super much here. Mainly want to draw in some nice fences and do some proper prop and vehicle work here as well. Or we dive into this truck stop, which we started with slightly. Welcome in, Jordan. Nice to see you, mate. And in this truck stop, we could continue building out this or building out this and push it a bit more forward. Or, and I do think this is probably the most interesting one and the one where we can get the most done on, this thing, ignore the post office behind here, that will probably get moved elsewhere. But the rest of this complex that I imagine to turn into a luxurious car dealership in future. We have a car dealership already, but it's a very down-to-earth, run-down second-hand car dealership. At least I would say so. It's the car dealership here. And I want a second car dealer. This is the big car monopolies in our city so far, I should say. So not only do they have this big car dealership, but then if you look up here, they also have this big garage service over here. So they are a bit of a monopoly so far. So the second car dealership is gonna help us get that out a bit. You mean as reaction to Elgando? I can tell you I'm already using multiple future Elgando mods that are not released yet. If you mean Elgando, then I don't think you have to wait too long. There is multiple mods already finished and ready to get published. So soon. And since nobody in chat is telling me what we should dive in, I'm just gonna decide for you guys, unless somebody decides now. Out of the options I gave you, I personally think this car dealership is gonna be the most interesting thing that we can touch up on. So I think I'm just gonna go in and start layouting this a bit. Okay, Elgando, you did this to yourself. I don't mind, because that means we can actually finish areas and we can just dive into this on a fresh stream and start this area. You did this to yourself, Elgando. If you said put more decals, we are gonna work on the cinema, because this is exactly what we need to do here. I did not think this is the most interesting choice, but if you guys disagree, you know Elgando. Elgando decided we're putting more decals, so we're gonna put more decals. And we're gonna work out this area. Why place the sand decals last? They are the most relevant. I don't really need to do much decal work here anymore. There is very little. I properly detailed this out already. What we do need, which actually exciting, we should do that right away. We have a bollard time inbound, because we do need to bollard all of this up on the outside, which I hope people are excited for. And yeah, but I don't really need to touch the building anymore. That's what I mean. Like in the abandoned area, that was very annoying. But here we don't do much. Here we do a lot of boring decal work now, because really with the detailing itself, I'm pretty much satisfied the way it is. You, Elgando, it's your job. You know, this might be a bit of a stereotype, and I'm not saying these stereotypes are true, but you know how in American TV sitcoms and television shows, usually the Latino is the gardener. I'm sorry, Elgando, you're the gardener of Los Vagos. You're Latino, so you're the one watering these plants. That's not my fault. Oh, Sunny, you cannot say something like that in chat. Now I'm both jealous and hungry, because I did eat before I streamed, but not very much, so I will have to have proper food as well. Very jealous of that. Enjoy your burger and enjoy your walk. And also welcome in Picana. I don't want to let Picana down, because he redeemed bollard time. We're gonna drop everything we're doing right now and immediately grab some bollards. The only thing we have to do, because now we have so many good bollards that we need to decide which bollard we want. I think here we're actually gonna use a new bollard that we've not yet had in this area. Yeah, I think we're going with this. The only thing I don't like about a new bollard is that we can change the color of it, but the gray works perfectly fine over here, so I don't mind too much. Yeah, you can, Elgando, you're invited. I know I did not react to your video yet, but I actually did watch it, and it is something that I guess Los Vagos could need. It is kind of fitting to the urban planning video that I sent a bit before you, the one about the palm trees in Los Angeles. Because I think it goes a bit in the same direction at least. But yeah, great video. And you should always be eaten, Jordan. Especially when people like Sunny tell you that they're getting a burger, then yes, just to not be in a position where you get jealous for telling or getting told about burger eating, you should just eat a burger yourself, just so you cannot become jealous. This is a bit too close to the road. Okay, that is better. And I guess here we need some glass bollards as well. So some more here. And then the question is if we either bollard all of this off on the side, or if it's more logical to just bollard this up and then just bollard this up. How would this be done in real life? I guess in real life they would probably literally just bollard this entire side down, right? Stop it, Sunny. You know we love you in this channel, but you cannot keep telling us about the tasty food you're adding. You're on Sena territory here. I'm hungry myself, so I consider this cyberbullying. Keep telling me about all of the tasty food you're eating. Is nearly as much of a crime as when you're hungry in the evening and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna eat anything today anymore, I'm just gonna go to bed. And then on your YouTube you see some incredibly tasty looking food in some video. It's a crime against humanity, and I think what you're doing is pretty similar. But then if I learned anything this week, it's Sunny loves teasing me. Before the Dutch pack came out, I've never seen Sunny in such a bully mood like this week. Sunny been teasing me the entire week about these bollards, and then making it to the game without telling me anything, just telling me I will be excited over and over again till I was close to losing it. But yes, there we go, finally, bollard time. It's been a while, though I guess we're gonna have a lot more bollard times in future, because we're finally moving not out of industry, we're still actually kind of moving into different kind of industry again. But at least it's a bit more urban industry this time, so we'll have more commercial and different kind of things in between. Oh, this does not... Oh, it does not draw. Hold on, maybe we need our own version. We have our own version that draws on there, and yes, that works. Now we lower it so we don't bleed, and this one we just gonna use on the outside. I love this one because in my head at least it's the imitation of sand that gets like blown up next to the building. We'll use a different decal afterwards to properly stain the rest out, but then I love this one to imitate the blown sand, especially for these harsher overlaps here on the side. This one is exactly the game changer. In fact, Elgando probably is looking at this and is like, why did he not build a net lane out of this decal? And my answer to that question, Elgando, is that's a good question. I don't know, and I should really build a net lane out of this because I'm using it exactly like a net lane. So valid. I will think about it. Actually, now I said that, yeah, why I should build a netlane that I can use similar to this. I can just pull a mic builds and take real visions for static noise work and then say it's real vision inspired, because I guess that's how we do it in this community. So honestly, no problem. Yeah, I know. I'm also kidding, because yes, I'm perfectly aware the reason I'm not planning on using a netlane for this is exactly what you're saying. It limits me more and it will make stuff look a bit more repetitive, which it already does a little with this, but then we blend so many different decals that eventually it's not as noticeable anymore. Nice. Even just this, and this is just a base. Now we're gonna go on top of this. But even just this base of getting some appropriate roadware and lines in here makes such a big difference. Like such a big difference, really. And I'm also very happy to see this, because I told you last stream that I built this kind of shortcut for the pedestrians here, because we have a very long route to avoid otherwise for the pedestrians, and this one does not get that much usage, though it also does get usage sometimes. But then this short part up here next to the cinema sees loads of usage, because we will have a bit of a commercial strip down here. And this gets a lot of usage. I love seeing that. I always love when these pedestrian passes actually get proper usage. You will get slammed with an NDA answer, Elgando. I can read the future. Wait for the NDA icon to get posted in chat in 2 seconds. I wish we had a similar oil decal to this one. Elgando's gonna tell me he has some. This oil decal is the best oil decal we have in the game, so it hurt your feelings, Elgando. But it gets a bit repetitive because I use that one so much. Oh, actually, does it make sense? I have no clue about cars, and it becomes very obvious here. It does not really make sense to have oil in an electric vehicle, right? Because yes, sure, an electric vehicle still has oil to like oil the parts, but then I guess the oil you see under parking cars is generally from the engine. So I guess you wouldn't see that under electrical parking. Well, see, Picana really surprises me there. I did not see that coming at all, of course. Totally unexpected response, Picana. Yeah, Elgando, we need electrical car spill decal, please. And why did you not release the vomit pack yet? So many questions. Where is it? I just have my favorite decal. This is the best crack decal we have in the game. So I use this all the time, and this one is really nice because depending on how you put it under the sand, it shows different parts. So while we use the same crack multiple times, it is very much not repetitive, at least in my opinion, and it is so light and slide, especially if you think it a bit, what we're generally doing, that I think the look of this is really nice, because it looks used, but not shitty, not entirely run down and broken. Nice. Okay, we're satisfied with that. And I think there is two very last decals we need here. And I think one we're actually gonna use our own local version of, because then we can draw over other things as well. And it's this one, and we're actually gonna start out here in the street already to get some grittiness out here as well. I mean, with how the last, I know people are always saying that it's so bad. The last patch has all been pretty flawless. Like, after the last patch, I was back in the game without any problems playing in under a day. So, really, I don't think it's a big problem. Could be worse this time, depending on how fundamental the changes are. And I know people like to bitch about it, but the truth is the mods breaking is a good thing, because that means something in the game changed. If all of the mods would keep working, that would also mean the update we've gotten barely changed any core fundamentals in the game and will bring little meaningful change. So I get it, it's frustrating, we can't play our favorite game for a little, but just I don't know, pretend to not be a nerd for a day and go out and touch grass, and then the game should be fine again. So I don't think it's a big problem, really. I mean, you're already saying something with what you just said, even though you kept trying to be as mysterious as you can, Picana. What we just learned from Picana's input is Picana does know things. He did not say anything, but he did tell us that he knows things we don't know yet. So there is information to be had. Somebody blackmail Picana right now and extort critical information. Don't blackmail anybody. I'm kidding. I'm not funny. I'm German. I'm not good at being humorous, but I don't mean it. Sure. Picana, that's exactly what somebody who has no information would say. So sure, we're totally gonna believe you, because if there is one thing I learned in life, people on the internet don't lie. So I'm sure you wouldn't. And I think this really pretty much was it detail-wise we needed to do here, because I've done pretty much most of the decal work. What we do need to, or want to do, is put a very little prop work, and then there is one thing that I prepared here already that we need to fix up a bit, and it's this, where I imagine this to be some dumpster. Please turn off snapping, god damn it. Some dumpster storage, so we're gonna drag out the surface here a little, and now we're gonna have a look probably at the dumpsters from J. If anybody does not know where these are from, these are as many other amazing things from Suli's Discord and made by Habermeister J. I love these save a lot of work at detailing pretty dumpster areas and trash corners, so highly recommend anybody to grab these from the local Asos channel in Sulis. Because yes, this has been a single click, and look at how pretty this dumpster looks compared to the vanilla ones. So big fan indeed. The one thing I'm a bit unsure about, this looks too plain. I don't want to do that much here though, but I guess for once, generally whenever we use a blanket, I kinda misuse that blanket in a way that it's not meant to be used. I think for once we're actually using the picnic blankets appropriately. We're gonna place 2. Can we fit a third one without this becoming unromantic? Nah, see, if somebody tells me to go on a picnic and I come here and
that's
there's
cute.
2 people sitting like this already, I don't want to sit down here with my picnic anymore. I want more privacy. I don't like other people as much. So we're gonna be nice with these guys and leave it at 2 blankets so they get some privacy. Nothing worse than if you find the perfect spot in a park and you're like, oh my god, this is so cute and nice, and finally we're by ourselves, and then the next group comes and puts out their blanket right next to you. You can literally go right back home again. But yes, I think this is the amount of detail I find appropriate here already. Here we're gonna do a bit of a sneaky one, because I always think that makes a lot of difference. And it's a small detail, but putting Sims in race positions like this, big game changer. I don't know why. I don't know why it makes such a difference to put them in places like that. But I can tell you guys, at least in my experience, it really does. Stuff looks a lot more interesting if you have levels and terrain in them, so highly recommend that. Welcome back in, Gaga, nice to see you. And who's cheeky? You seem to be the only cheeky one in chat. We're all very, very well behaved, not doing anything weird. You, meanwhile, Gaga, very cheeky. Yeah, I very much feel you and agree with you, Elgando. I've been in that same situation many times, and indeed, absolutely horrible. Why would people do that? Literally ruins my entire day if that's gonna happen. Snapping on again, because I guess in front of a cinema, and I hate that we always have to go down, but if you're wondering why I'm placing these very weird, if you have snapping on and you're on a surface like that, you can't rotate this sim right now while being on the surface. I have to go off of it, and then I can rotate it here, and then I can go back up and place it. But up here I cannot rotate it, so sadly this is a bit more annoying than it used to be in the past. That was not always the case, but recently it's the case since 2 patches, I think. And I wish that would go away again, but I don't know if it ever will. Okay, that all is good enough, and I maybe put like a few down here. And with that, I'm perfectly satisfied, because all of these is passes, right? Like, we will have actual walking sims go through this anyways. The one thing that I'm a bit sad about is that the parking lot is so empty. But it's an actual parking lot that belongs to this business. So we cannot really plop cars down here, because other cars will park on top of them. So we will just have to live with the cinema being kinda empty. I guess we can put some people here, but in a parking lot as empty as the one we have, does not really make sense for us to actually go in and place people on the parking lot. Maybe we can place an employee having, or 2 employees back here having a cigarette break outside of the door, but then that should be enough. With that, I do think this cinema is pretty much finished. As always, the last thing is decals, and we want some graffiti, and then we want some stains, and then we're done. And then I do think, with a look on the clock, because I do need to do something tonight, so I will probably find somebody to wait you guys out to after this. I know a bit of an untypical and short notice stream. I mean, all of my streams are short notice, but the time is untypical for me. I have to admit, seems like a time that works great, and there is some people who I don't otherwise see in chat that I guess the time is fitting better for. So we might have some more early streams sometime in future on work days where it's pretty slow and I can afford to do so. Unless somebody in chat has complaints and says, please don't, I don't like when you stream in general, you seem boring and annoying, and preferably only stream late when I'm sleeping already, then I would argue that's a fair take and I can see where you're coming from. Of course, I built such a cute cinema and detail it out and everything, then first thing happening is Picana running onto my building, putting his tag down. All of this work for nothing. Okay, so Gaga, what you're saying is you want me to either stream when you're sleeping already or before you get up, right? So to make sure you don't ever have to suffer through this again. Noted. I'll try my best. Yeah, you better be sorry, Picana. It's not very nice of you. In fact, not only once. I get it. You draw over the trash can. I can forgive it, really. Like if you draw over this, fair. Here, why here, Picana? Not very nice of you. So I never looked at this before. That's actually funny. Chirper 2 and there's a crow. Every city is nothing without it. We should have looked at this before. That's actually hilarious. I'm sure this is a movie that Dava would very much enjoy if he'd still be here as the biggest train nerd on human history of mankind. This seems like the perfect Dava movie. Oh, another Chirpy movie. Chirper and Chirpy. Is Surviving Mars a Paradox game? I did not know that. That is a game, no? Because Stellaris is another Paradox game, I knew that. I love Prison Architect, so also not surprised. Yeah, actually, this one, I like crows, I have to admit. I know people think crows are kind of scary. I love crows. I think crows are super, or raven. I'm not super knowledgeable, so I can't distinguish on this picture. I can only distinguish on size in real life. But I love both raven and crows, so I don't mind. But Prison Architect, 10 out of 10 game. I know that Paradox is trying to publish the second part of it. If somebody likes building games, and you guys are watching me, so clearly you do. The first part of Prison Architect is an absolute beautiful and very enjoyable game. So highly recommend you guys to check that out if you have not already. And I hope the second part is not a complete letdown. Though, according to what I learned from City players, seems like Colossal Order is kinda good at making the second game a bit of a letdown, at least in community opinion. So let's see, maybe they repeat the same with Prison Architect. I think we're done. Are we missing something? Are you guys looking at this and you're like, oh, you're missing something very crucial in your cinema, because I don't think so. I think I'm perfectly happy with this. Not too much graffiti, some graffiti, but also I do think that's correct, because this is a bit, not a good part of the city, but at least a highly trafficked part of the city, so obviously it's not as easy to just draw on top of it, and then it's a like commercial units in service, so every few months or every year they will paint over the graffiti anyways. If we had popcorn, oh, actually, hold on. I do think you make a perfectly valid point. I was gonna say if we had popcorn, I would give it to you, but then sure, Gaga, you will get popcorn, and I think that's a very good input, and I think you're totally right. Because not only, at least in many German cinemas, you don't only have snacks inside of the cinema, but you also have places around the cinema for people to grab some quick food. So very good input. I like it. We're gonna put down some stands. I'm trying to not use the market stands everywhere because I tend to overuse them, but then here I think these are very appropriate, so great suggestion. Now I need to find, he does not look like he would sell popcorn to you. This, again, we talked about him 100,000 times. This is the best and my favorite sim in the game. He does too much business. This guy would not bother with something like, he would sell, but he needs a shirt. Can't really sell popcorn without a shirt. He sells popcorn after going to university. He spends his evening making some money for the tuition, selling popcorn in the cinema. Good enough, I like it. And now this one is gonna be a bit finicky. We tried this many times. We're gonna try this again here. Let's see how successful we are. We're gonna do this without clipping and carefully learn. First we take somebody who looks like he would sell hot dogs to you. This guy definitely looks like he would sell hot dogs to you. And now we try to lower him or raise him up so the feet are perfectly above the ground level. And then we move him in so the belly is behind. I've gotten really good at this. In the past, I had big problems positioning people there. I've done this so many times. Now I'm actually quite efficient at it. The feet don't show. This worked out perfect. So time to queue up some people. And again, here we have the same issue with a snapping and a rotation. So we always need to move down here to be able to rotate our sim to place a new one. But good enough, and we definitely want to recolor this because I don't like the colors. Something like that is cute, and then the red I actually, or the orange I should say, but I think I quite like if we make it kinda pastel-y. A lot better, I quite like it. Great input, Gaga. I wish so, because yes, you're actually 100% right. Every good cinema needs a condom. Why is that the case? Why is that the case that in any is that the thing in all countries as well? Because yeah, you're 100% right. Every single cinema bathroom I've ever been into in my entire life, they all had a condom dispenser. Which, why? I've never even thought about it, but yeah, you were onto something, and you're right, and I guess I don't have a condom dispenser in the game, But I can give you a vending machine that I guess we can put some condoms in there as well. So sure. This is the one I think looks the best, and then I actually think this can go somewhere right here at the end and just start snapping off because the ramp is not hard anyways. So here you can grab yourself a bev or maybe some condoms. I mean, I guess so, but then are the people who own the cinema really the people who want everybody to have access to condoms in their theater? I don't think so. So even with that reasoning, I don't fully get it. And I guess you're right, the amount of kids and teenagers in this entire area is a lot too little for actual... Why are some sims like this? I hate it. Look at this. Close up, perfectly fine sim. We zoom out a bit. Suddenly skinhead. I don't have interest in maybe also cancer survivor, then very admirable, and I'm a big fan of you, young lady. But also maybe skinhead, I don't know, and I hate it because it makes quite a bit of the sims unusable, and you always kinda need to pay attention while plopping them down if you get one that has the hair despawning from further away, or if you get one that is fine as a model. So slightly infuriating. Rant over, back to gameplay. This is the worst. This is even worse than a group of screaming teenagers, Gaga, and I hope these people go in the same film or same movie as you. This is an entire school class, and they did very well at their last exam. So Miss Teacher is being nice and invited everybody to go to the cinema together. And I hope you're looking forward to having them in the same movie as you're in. Alright, bye-bye Elgendo. You're not missing much. I think this is pretty much the last thing we're doing, and then we're heading out as well. The only last thing I still need is a teacher. You look like a teacher. There we go, Miss Teacher in the middle, telling all the students to behave and not be loud. We all know they will not behave and they will be loud, but she's trying her best, can't really blame her. And some more teenagers, because Gaga is right on teenagers. A group here and one last small group of teenagers here, and then we're gonna find somebody to raid you guys out to, and I'm gonna head. Yes and no. Yeah, I guess so. Actually, I don't hate it, but we have buses going past here all the time. I don't need to add a bus for the teenagers. Bus service down the road right here. They can take a normal bus like everybody else. I know in the US everybody gets their own personal school bus, but Los Vagos has no money for that. Like if you want to go to the cinema with a school, you take the public transport like everybody else, or like normal countries, aka everybody in Europe would do it. And with that, I'm gonna grab this police cruiser. Hold on, first thing. Oh, we still have simulations. We have. That's perfect. Then not even have to change anything. And gonna throw you in here for a quick road trip while I will find somebody to raid you guys out to. And again, thank you so much, as always, for everybody to tune in. Untypical, early and weird stream. I hope that is fine for you guys. Again, I think this was alright, so most likely that's something we are gonna repeat in future. Oh, and the timing is absolutely perfect. Fashion just went live, so I'm gonna send all of you cuties over to Fashion. and hope you have a nice evening over there. As always, again, thank you so much for tuning in, cuties. And I hope all of you are as excited as me about the trailer we've seen drop today, because I am very much excited. And with that, all of you cuties, have an absolute wonderful evening and enjoy your time over at Fashion. If you wanna check out either past streams of mine, feel free to check out my YouTube VOD channel, where I upload my VODs to be stored a bit longer. Or if you don't, feel free to jump onto my Discord, where I always ping before I jump on and stream. So that's also a great way to catch my streams. And with that, wish all of you cuties an absolutely wonderful evening, and thank you for tuning in. Bye bye cuties, have a nice night.